Preserving biodiversity. Humans need other species. For example, crops and livestock, that's just one way that animals are essential to our lives. Bats aid in flower pollination and consume many insects that humans consider pests. We also use other organisms for shelter, clothing, and drugs. Microorganisms have vital roles in our lives, such as producing oxygen and aiding in digestion. Biodiversity is the variety of life on Earth. Maintaining biodiversity is important since all organisms interact. Unfortunately, human actions often affect ecosystems. This albatross died after eating plastic garbage in the ocean. The cause of this bird's death is obvious, but how many of our daily actions are affecting Earth's biodiversity in ways that are harder to detect? If you've ever been out on Lake Michigan, like way out in the middle of the lake, you'd be surprised to see how much garbage is out there. My husband has this salmon boat, and sometimes we'll go out salmon fishing. We go way far out offshore, and there's so much garbage out there. A lot of times we'll use our fishing nets to pull the garbage up out of the lake so that animals aren't affected by it. Biodiversity is threatened worldwide. Extinction, again, means that the last individual of a species has perished. When a species is endangered, it has a high risk of extinction in the near future. A vulnerable species is likely to become extinct in the more distant future. What human actions might be causing this loss of biodiversity? So conservation biologists ask this and similar questions. They study the preservation of biodiversity. We also play a major role in global climate change. So carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases prevent heat from escaping Earth's atmosphere, similar to how glass keeps heat from escaping a greenhouse. Already, polar ice sheets are melting and sea levels are rising, changing icy and aquatic ecosystems. Rising temperature is not the only problem. Rising carbon dioxide concentration also directly affects ocean ecosystems. Carbon dioxide gets converted to carbonic acid. This even happens in the human body. So our breathing, we know that we have to breathe out in order to get rid of carbon dioxide. But if we don't, and carbon dioxide starts to accumulate in the body, it actually accumulates as carbonic acid. And that carbonic acid stimulates receptors in our hypothalamus to cause us to take a breath. And if we don't, then we'll die of acidification. So all of that acid can accumulate, it deactivates our enzymes, and we slip into a coma and die. In the case of an ocean, or even in a lake system, carbon dioxide, which turns into carbonic acid, causes the ocean waters to become more acidic, and that threatens many organisms. Because Earth's average temperature is rising, this phenomenon is often called global warming, but in reality, some areas are becoming warmer and others are becoming cooler. So that's why we consider this global climate change. I hope you take some time to watch the video, the Bill Nye video that I posted about global climate change.